Ah, it's a pretty looking crowd. So every day in Philadelphia, on average, 19 students drop out of high school. That's 3,000 students every year who give up on their education. We are failing those students, right? We need to find a way to make education more relevant, to connect what happens inside those classrooms to what happens outside once they've graduated. We need to provide opportunities for all of our students, especially those who are most disadvantaged through no fault of their own. We are failing students, and we need to do better because their future depends on it, right? One way that we can make education more relevant is through the Career Academy model and career-connected education. Philadelphia Academies, the nonprofit I work with, started this model almost 50 years ago when two men who had nothing to do with education came together. Charles Bowser, who was the deputy mayor of Philadelphia, and Lee Everett, who became the president of what is now known PICO. And these two guys, they did something completely ludicrous at the time. It was unheard of. They brought industry partners into the classroom at Edison High School, which was one of the worst high schools in Philly. And they not only taught those students the skills they needed to graduate, they taught them skills that would get them gainfully employed once they graduated. And this experiment in career-connected education, it worked. In that first year among the students they worked with, the graduation rate went from 40% to 80%. Right? Seriously. And so what they did, this experiment that they did, now has become the Career Academy model, and it's in 8,000 schools across the country. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So in the Career Academy, what do, right? Students and teachers are organized into small schools within a school that are grouped around industry-themed content as well as their academic classes so that they can master real-world skills. So there are horticulture academies, there are fine arts academies, there are biotechnology academies, you name it, they can have an academy for it. And each cohort of those students and teachers, they travel together, they become a community, and they have industry partners that work with them in the classroom. So it informs the curriculum so that it's relevant and it's rigorous. They provide work-based learning opportunities for students, and they simply help students dream about the possibilities of what they could be outside of what they know now. And we know that this works. So there have been independent studies that show that Career Academy students graduate at a higher rate, that once they've graduated, they earn on average over $2,000 more than their peers. And especially among young men of color, they are statistically more significantly going to be the custodial parents to their children and involved in their families. So here in Philadelphia, we have two all-academy schools. We have two career academies. We have Roxborough and we have Abraham Lincoln. And they're both really cool in their own right. At Abraham Lincoln in 2017, the graduation rate jumped from 66%, which is pretty dismal, to 79%. Yeah. And at Roxborough, which is a neighborhood community high school, so this is not a special select school, students get to do things like the STEAM Scholars Program and the biotechnology pathway and a kinesiology pathway. Now, for a lot of reasons, some good, some not good, the Career Academy model hasn't really taken root in Philly outside those two schools. And so what we do at PAI is we break that model open so that we can bring career-connected education to as many students as possible. And that looks different with every school that we work with. So in some schools, we help them build cutting-edge career pathways, like at Parkway West, where we've helped develop the first early childhood education-themed high school. In other places, we're doing really deep and relevant work-based learning opportunities for students, like in our business of hospitality, where we have master classes. So kids leave school during the day, they go to an industry site where they're taught by industry experts, where they have all sorts of amazing, eye-opening experiences. Everyone else? The key really, though, in all of this, in the Career Academy model, in career-connected education in general, is that it makes education relevant. It makes education relevant through this career-connected learning, through industry partnerships that are meaningful, and through post-secondary preparation. Because Philadelphia students, we don't want them to just graduate, right? That's just not enough. It's not enough that they graduate. It's enough that they graduate with the skills that they need to have a life that they want. Oh, wow, that went really fast. Thanks.